Answer these questions in song. Tell us a
Okay.
bit about your company and your role and kind of what you do.
My name's Kim Irons. I own a virtual assistant company called VABizGrowth, and I also guest speak in a mastermind class called the 2-Day Blueprint and a few other ones as well. And we basically focus on lead generation for real estate and how to get your system set up and properly in play, so to speak, down from what dialer to use, which is Readymode. I won't really work with anybody else that doesn't use Readymode, and there's a lot of reasons for that, and I can go through that in a little bit. And also what CRMs to use as well, because there are pros and cons to a lot of them. So it's really dependent on what the client needs. The main thing that I really, really like is the contact rate in Readymode. So about 5 years ago, we were using other dialers, right? And I got a phone call from Readymode, when it used to be called Zen Calls, to do a test run when the dev team actually turned everything over. And I found that the contact rate in a 4-hour shift was between an 8 to 12% versus a 1 to 2% in other dialers that we were using, meaning that we were actually speaking to about 100 to 120 people just on a double dialer alone, right? With one agent in a 4-hour shift, which was phenomenal comparing it to other dialers where our agents were only speaking to about 3 to 10 people in a 4-hour shift. So that was the number one reason that I started switching all my clients over to Readymode. We can be ahead of the game on uploading the lists and making sure that the criteria that we're dialing with, especially in the world of real estate, because I do other things than real estate too, but my main focus is real estate, is to make sure that criteria is spot on for the market that we're dialing, right? Every county, every zip code, every state is different. So we need to be very creative with what list sources we're using, and then how to run that within Readymode, and down to what time of the day we're dialing to. So that's just kind of the generalization of what we do over here.
No, and that's like you touched on a lot of good points, and that's my life, is helping clients either get into this, start doing this, or even if they have some experience, then helping make them more efficient. And I think that you touched on it. The main thing is contact rate, right?
Yeah.
Once that's there, then it's about, it's more than just, hey, go use this dial, right? You are actually providing the consultant services because you know the strategies, you know the best practices, you know the time of days that you need to call, the type of agents, the pitch, and it's almost like you're building a community of agents that know how to use this platform, that know the vertical that they're calling on behalf of, that really is an irreplaceable value there.
Weeks ago, I had a consulting account where they were using agents from a different part of the world. And I went in and I dove into their account, and they didn't have IQ. Okay. I got them switched over to IQ immediately. We got 4 of those agents off of there because they weren't being managed. That's just so important, is to manage the phone calls too and listen to call recordings. And that was not happening. As soon as I got the IQ information from you guys, I took a screenshot. They were dialing with flagged numbers that whole time. There was 150 of them, and every single one of them were flagged because they weren't educated on how often they needed to be switched out, right, and registered.
Better to do is to manage it from within and to register the numbers, and to then we provide the strategies on how to use those numbers. We can do it on an attempt level. If, from this attempt 5 to 10, I want to use these numbers, this set of numbers, this group of numbers. And that was the whole point of why we built IQ, is to provide that insight and to provide that strategy building. We're setting up our clients. That's what we try to do too, right? That's the whole point of our implementation strategy this year, was we are going to set it up for you. You tell us what your goals are, what your outcomes are, like desired outcomes, and we'll help you get there. And we're going to set this up. Don't touch anything. If you have any questions, let us know. We'll hop on and give some advice and help you build out the right reports. But let us do it for you, right? I want you to focus on the business, you to focus on the agents. We'll help you run the dialer.
The whole carrying equals closing thing, we go in full circle with watching the metrics, reaching out to the client, letting them know that this list isn't doing good, that we need to order this other criteria that is doing good, and then we go from there down to the point where I'm reaching out to the clients to making sure that their leads are motivated on their end too, and go in full circle so that we know that they're closing.
I want to sponge it all in because, you know, this is the game I'm in as well, right? For the last 15 years, running call center teams, working with call centers, and it's such value that you're giving us here, where it's important day by day, understand your metrics, understand your KPIs, and the ability to be agile, right? You need to know when to change things up. Such good value you're giving me here, Kim. I love it. What would you say for somebody just starting off? What's your top piece of advice?
Oh, that's a really good question. They need to have the drive for it. That would be my top piece of advice. They need to want to do this. They need to have the passion to be able to do it. You know, there's people that, you know, that are retired that just want to do it on the side, and, you know, they wind up not closing, right? Because they don't have that passion in it to do it, right? I wouldn't be doing this. I didn't go to college for this. Did I ever think that I would own a virtual assistant company or be working with you know what I mean? Like, I love to do what I do. It makes me really happy. And if the clients or even the agents don't have that passion, then they're not going to succeed.
We can on our side to support you. You know, you're a big advocate for Readymode, and you know, you've been with us for many years now, and you're you know, a Readymode pro. And however we can help empower and enable you to continue growing and coaching clients and helping clients. Again, just to plug Kim here, clients that use Readymode, that sign up with Kim, are much more likely to be successful. And I think that's the value of having a proper coach and a proper partner that can help consult you on best practices, somebody who's been there, done that. And I think there's a lot of value in that. So Kim, I think if you've got any, you know, closing comments that you want to add in there, or any other piece of advice, let us know. And but yeah, it's been a pleasure speaking with you.
Well, thank you for having me. I've always enjoyed working with you guys. Not to mention too that your customer support and tech service is amazing. Tech support, I can name off everybody at this point.
That's